What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Two Old Cajuns Nerd Out. My name is Bo, and this is...
Hey guys, this is John. Hey, welcome back. If you're joining us for the second part, we're gonna kind of dive into mental health with the disclaimer. If that wasn't obvious, just like the previous episode, a little bit different, very more serious, more adult stuff that we'll be talking about. So it might offend some people, it might upset some people, stuff like that. So that's why we just have the disclaimer and stuff like that. So just real adult stuff, very serious. So when we had stopped talking last time, I was telling you that I had managed to get sober, and I stayed sober, man, for 8 years. The desire to drink, it went away, and that's a hard fucking thing to chase off, man. They say it takes like 2 years, but I was like, just no fucking even wish for it,
Right.
completely cool without it, and was really, really happy for quite a while, and managed it. And I stopped going to AA after like 5 years. A couple people moved around and different things happened and stuff like that, and it just my sponsor switched groups, and that kind of just took it out. So there's a lot of drama too with that shit, with anything, where you get a bunch of people together.
Especially a bunch of people with problems.
Fuck yes. Yeah, they got all those fucking people. But anyway, so yeah, I was sober and I was doing good. I pulled myself back, man, from fucking a crash and burn, from nothing, and then I got a pretty good job, and was doing really well with that. But I fucking just, I fell back in my old ways, and I got fucking selfish, man. And I think part of it, COVID had a little bit to do with my first anxiety attack.
Oh yeah, dude, COVID. Everybody was having that.
Because I had never had one before, man.
Right.
And the job that we had, doing security and stuff like that, we had to get in people's faces and stuff like that. They were I'm not wearing a fucking mask and blah blah blah, spitting and craziness and shit like that. And first fucking front lines catch that shit.
Oh yeah.
So it made me paranoid, man. Always had my fucking mask on and shit like that. Always made sure it was right and stuff like that. Always sanitize my fucking hand. Everything you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and then when you stop somebody, you're in this tiny fucking office, and
right, yeah, So it was fucking always on my mind, man. I was really fucking scared to get it because of my kids and shit,
Yeah.
And it was unknown, but I went to Target one day, and I was middle of all the shit going on. And I went to get something, man, and I ran in there, and I'm running through the fucking aisles, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm passing people, and I'm doing all this shit. And I've been in there for fucking 15 minutes, dude, and I realized I didn't have a mask on.
Oh shit.
And bruh, my fucking heart and everything, I just fucking died. It's the floor gave out on me, man. I couldn't breathe, man.
Your mind was racing too much. Dude, you forgot your mask. And
so fucking freaked out, man. That was my first real fucking anxiety attack, man. And I started having them after that,
anxiety attacks aren't fun at all.
Right. So I found a doctor. My doctor, meet me, trying to learn me, told him a lot, didn't tell him all my past history.
Right.
And maybe if I did, I was clear. I didn't, when he asked if I drank, I don't drink. I hadn't drank for 8 years.
Yeah, you weren't lying if you...
Yeah. Do you smoke? I don't smoke. So we said all that stuff, we started working on trying to fix my anxiety and stuff like that, and we was working on it. I lost my job and stuff by my own fault and everything. So I stopped going to him. And, so I just stopped taking the medicine and stuff like that, and kind of never got better. But anxiety attacks kind of came a little bit. I worked on getting another job, and I got another job at somewhere that I kind of really want to work. It's an independent company. So things are... It's not what I thought it was.
Right.
And I've had some really issues in there, do some really bad hostile work environment shit, and being in my old job and knowing ethics and knowing crazy shit, it fucking just, it's the worst fucking thing, man. And I can't do anything about it, and I've tried to, man, and it's been causing me so much stress. It's causing me to fucking want to freak the fuck out, man. It's
right.
It's killing me.
Oh no, dude, I've seen it affect you.
And it's killing me. So I'm going to my doctor, and I'm it's getting worse, man. I can't deal with this. I need something else. So he put me on fucking Zoloft, and he's I need something to kick in with what is happening. So the doctor's working with me. He puts me on Xanax, So I'm taking Zoloft, I'm taking Xanax, and man, I'm just going, and I get stressing out. Next thing I know, I'm just fucking drinking, dude, and like been sober for 8 years, and I'm just fucking drinking, and like I don't even know the fucking day I started, and I'm just like, where's the fucking whiskey bottles, and I'm drinking like a fucking whiskey bottle a day.
Oh shit.
Like throwing up and then like fucking drinking, like going right. You fucking joking about virus earlier, but I was doing that shit like in the last fucking 6 months, man. And like recently, man, like fucked up, and I couldn't figure out. I was like, what the fuck, like how did this happen? Like how the fuck did it, like and like it was my job, like what the fuck?
Yeah, but all that medicine's messing with your head too. So.
And like it just like I just going back to the bottle and shit, man, like everything else and stuff like that, and I just stopped kind of caring, man. I was like so ambitious about starting this job and getting this things going. I was doing my YouTube channel, and like I was engaged with all these people and stuff like that, and all that shit was going on, man, and like passionate about playing games and watching these shows and stuff like that, and like doing these things, and like it just started all just fading out. Like it just didn't matter. Like I could fucking burn everything away and just not give a fuck, and like just like come and just try to like, how can I numb myself up as quick as I can and go to sleep again, back to that fucking thing. And now I have a family, that I'm ignoring and shit,
No, and it's not fun at all. And then before we go any further, I know y'all have heard me say, that medicine is messing with your head. I believe that medicine does help, but sometimes it has the adverse effect. I've seen it.
There's reasons behind we're telling the story, and like there's stuff that he doesn't know yet, and like we're gonna get there. And there's a big thing about medicine and stuff like that with people, and this is one of the reasons I really want to talk about it.
And I don't know the full side of his story, but from my side, I've seen how it's affected him. So I have my side from it.
So yeah, like lost interest in just talking to people, doing anything and stuff like that. I just wanted to sleep. And then the suicide thoughts came in, and like they would creep in, and like I would just start crying, man, like fucking crying, start to hyperventilate, and they would get out the sleep, couldn't sleep, wake up at 3 o'clock, wake up at 3 o'clock, and couldn't sleep. And then about 4 or 5 o'clock, all I'm thinking about is I'm going to that job, and I'm dealing with this shit, and I'm gonna be exhausted, and I'm dealing with this shit, and like like just want to fucking cut my fucking wrist. I'm like glad if I'd had a gun, man, I would have fucking died. Like straight up fucking died, man.
And you started talking like that, and it was scaring me. And the only person I knew to contact would be you, and I didn't know who I could talk to, so I was just doing my best to kind of talk you down and be there for you as best as I can. I mean, it sucks whenever my best friend's going through this, and I'm on a boat in the middle of the Mississippi or the Ohio River, and I can't be there for you. So.
Yeah, man, I know, and so yeah, the shit was getting worse, and like I was like, I'm hanging, like how, and I told my doctor about it, and he got like, I think you should get committed. He's like, I'm going to take you out of work, and because obviously that's a big part of it, and like of all the stuff. I mean, there's stuff like you just cannot say, but took me out and on the medical thing, and get the stress level, figure this out and stuff like that, and put me in a safe place.
Right.
Well. When I talked to him about the suicide thoughts, he was like, you should commit. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I was like, because I went to a mental hospital before, and the first night I was there, I was assaulted. I told him that straight up. And he was like, oh my God, Yeah. And I was like, I didn't report it. I fucking kept it to myself. Like,
I mean, you were also still young, too. Yeah.
And I was like, I really didn't I was like, it happened, and I don't really ever fucking think about it. Like every once in a while, but I fucking just slap it out of my head. It doesn't change who I am. It didn't fucking affect me and break me into something else.
But that thought's still in the back of your head. Like, I have to go to another.
Yeah. I was able to, I don't know. It's there, but I was able to fucking deal with it. But it might pop up in a fucking trauma one day in a therapy or something like that. Could need it, but anyway, just so my poor mom, man, like like I'm all me and my kids is pretty much all she's got. My brothers have kind of like like I said, I'll never be a fucking uncle. And my brothers, man, like like my mom was just heartbroken that I was gonna die. I was gonna take my life, and I was gonna leave my kids and stuff like that. And it was getting there, man. Like it was a dark place, and it's just like I couldn't figure out what the fuck was happening. and like I couldn't stop fucking drinking, and like it was just so fucking dark. And I decided, like, I went to talk to my doctor, and I told him, he's like, look, he's like, we got, you trust me? And I was like, I trust him. And like, he's like, then do it, and I was like, but he's like, if something, you feel unsafe about something like that, go to your room. If you're not uncomfortable, if anything like that, just go to your room. You're going to be by yourself in there. I'm going to put in your notes and stuff like that. And you go to your room. So, all right. So I went, and man, like, when I say you go in there with nothing, like I went in there with nothing, man. I went in there, like, I left my phone, I left my wallet, my keys, I like everything behind. I went in there with just my jacket, my t-shirt, and my jeans, and my shoes, and basically, my belt.
Yeah, you like text me right before telling me you were going in the hospital and you wouldn't have your phone.
Yeah. So, like, you go in there and like they take you in, like, and stuff like that, and immediately, like, they photograph your body, like, to make sure you don't have cuts and scrapes and stuff. And I had a fucking cut on my leg, so like, you document that shit and stuff like that. And in case you get, like, I'm thinking in my head, and in case you get fucking assaulted again.
Yeah.
And that's in my mind already. And, they tell me, I'm in there because I really want to get help. I really want to fucking have therapy. I really want to talk to someone. I really want to do the counseling. I really want to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Right.
And stuff like that. Is the medicine? Is it even, what the fuck is happening to me? Before it's too late. And we do all that, and then they basically just kind of like let me loose. So they're like, just go in one of the break rooms right there, So I'll walk into this open area, and like I see this one guy in a Nirvana shirt, looking all kind of crazy, wild hair and stuff like that. And I walk into this break room, and it's this kind of big open room, white room, and it has like a couch that kind of comes around, and there's this like big black guy in there, and like he's drawing and like writing stuff. So I kind of like walked up. He was the only person in the room, and I walked up, and like he was like drawing like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. And I was like, cool. I was like, you drew? I mean, they're fucking good, dude. Yeah. And I'm like, you drew this? And he's like, and like he had kind of a lisp and stuff. He's like, yeah, I drew this. He's like, I was like, it's fucking awesome, And he's like, yeah, and he's like, well, I'll trace them. Like, he had like all these different pictures, and he's like, he had Dragon Ball and stuff like that. And I'm like flipping. I was like, these are really good. And so as I'm talking, dude, he just has a fucking seat. He just starts going, like, just starts fucking going nuts, and I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I'm like, can someone help him? Can someone help him? Like, nobody comes. So like, I walk around. I'm just like fucking walking through these hallway back and forth, like, what the fuck? What, like
why isn't anybody helping him?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, or me, So like, I don't know what the fuck to do. And I go, like, I ask, what room I'm in. They have like a nurse's station. Like, you think about it, it's like a glass wall, like, with
right.
the fucking counter with the little hole, and the big fucking metal doors and shit.
Yeah.
Well, they're like, you're in that room like 3 or whatever. So I'll go in, I see an empty bed, and like do a fucking like lay down, and like, dude, the sheet is like, you ever got one of those like little fucking towels that come in like the little pack that you get wet and you fucking take it apart?
Yeah.
Like that fucking
thin.
Like, that thin, but that fucking rough texture.
Oh god.
Yeah, the sheet was like that, and like the fucking pillow was basically like the consistency of a Walmart bag with air tied up in it.
A 1 thread count, no.
Dude, no, the pillow it was just like a little fucking like literally like probably 49 cents. Like, you needed like 4 of them.
It wasn't goose down. It was just
no, dude, it was like a whoopee cushion, man. But yeah, and like, so I'm laying in there trying to sleep, tossing, fucking turning, struggling and stuff like that. I finally kind of start to fall asleep. It's like dark, and somebody comes in there like, you're in the wrong room. Your room, I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, your room's down the hall. So I'm like, all right. So I walk fucking down the hall, and I open the door, and bro, like a fucking inferno, bro. It's 80 degrees
right.
on the thermostat in there, stuff like that.
Holy crap!
And there's a big man sleeping, snoring, like in the fucking.
It's like, no, I'm supposed to be by myself.
Exactly. So I go in, I'm like, they're like, that's your room. That's the only room we have. And I'm like, I can't, no. And so they're like, well, that's your room. And I was like, so I went in there, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna sleep. Yeah. So I had the door open, and everything, and I try to sleep, dude. I can't. It's 80 fucking degrees in there.
No, nobody.
And like, I don't want
anybody can sleep.
And I don't want to fuck with this man's thermos. I don't know who this is. Like, I don't know what he's in there. Like, nothing. I'm in a fucking mental hospital, man.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to fucking mess with this dude's thermostat and he flip the fuck out. Like, this is his room.
Right.
I gotta respect him.
It was his room before your room.
Right. And like, I don't know. I don't know anything about. I don't know who the fuck he is. How he's gonna react. And I already seen one guy freaking, go crazy a little bit. Like, that's the whole thing. So yeah, like, after a while, I had the door open. Dude, one girl's in the hallway screaming in her lungs out, running up and down the hall all night, screaming and talking. So I'm like, fuck. I went out. I was like, please put me in another room. And they're like, no. I was like, I can't sleep. I was like, all I hear is the girl screaming and stuff like that. And they're like, well, close your door. Like, I thought I was supposed to be, like, watch,
Yeah.
like, all stuff like that. So I was like, that kind of frustrated me in the first night.
Yeah.
So
You're there for help, and they're not helping at all.
Right. Well, so the second day, I was like, oh, gung-ho, kind of like, all right, let's see what this is about. And, like, it takes a little while. Everything over there it takes forever to get rolling on anything.
Right.
And, man, like, dude, no sugar at all. Like, there's no sugar.
Black coffee.
Black decaf coffee, and, like,
shit.
there's a drink machine and everything's sugar-free diet and shit like that.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So yeah, that part fucking sucked. Like I miss my coffee, Need the coffee in the morning. So that crap. But yeah, the second day, like, they had groups and stuff like that, and, like, dude, the first fucking group, man, I walked out there. It was like you walk outside and it's like a circle. They got the chairs and stuff like that, and you sit out there, and I started talking, man, and, like, they're like, do you want to share anything? And I was like, oh, I think I'm here because, like, I have, I relapsed. I'm not trying to figure out why and stuff like that. I know I have a lot of emotional baggage and shit like that and stuff like that. And about my father passing away, and I told the story about the day he passed away, which, man, it's fucked up, man. I don't want to relive it. But I told that story out there, man. I fucking bawled my eyes out, man. And, like, a bunch of them came after that and told me thank you for sharing. Including this one kid. His name was Yukao. But he had came the same night as me, but he was like came in like later or whatever, so I didn't see him the first night. But anyway, so second day, like, you do some, like, they have, like, you do like a group where they kind of share stuff, and then they do like another thing where, like, it's like a game, and they play like buzzwords.
Okay.
You never play buzzwords?
No.
Okay, so buzzwords. Let me tell you how buzzwords works, because it kind of parts of the story. So it's like a room of about 10 people in there. And so buzzwords is they'll pick a word like cold. And then they'll be like a song by Foreigner, Cold as Ice. Leaving a wedding, Cold Feet. A lot of money, Cold Hard Cash.
Yeah. So things like that.
Yeah, so it's buzzwords. Like, so, but dude, they were doing buzzwords, man. Like, bro, me and that guy, Yukao, were like just the only ones that, like, knew anything.
Right.
Like, the other people, like, knew nothing. And then, like, they were like, how the fuck do y'all know this? And we're like, dude, it's like, I mean, a lot of it's just watching TV and bullshit, like, worthless trivia. Worthless knowledge, but still, like, I mean, we knew, like, you could tell we were a little bit more,
So it'd be like Jet Song, Cold Hard Bitch.
Right. So, the other things I've sucked about that place, dude, I mean, the showers, dude, like, fucking just, like, wide open. They tell you to turn both of them on full blast, and then, like, wait for them to warm up. It might take a little while, and, like, dude, the water sprays like fucking 12 feet. Like,
shit.
Yeah, and it's like wide open, and there's like this little tiny fucking like curtain hanging, but it's like the only privacy area you can kind of get when you go in there. But man, it fucking it's I mean, there's no ropes, there's no nothing. Like, there's no razors, there's no, I mean, it's all stuff to be expected.
Right.
But it's like the showers are really weird because, like, there's no bars or nothing like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's all like reinforced, so you can't, like, fucking towel yourself or something. And then the towels, like, you only get when you shower, and of course they're like fucking like one ply to try to dry yourself and shit.
Oh shit! To dry yourself.
Yeah, to dry yourself.
So you can't even get like a big towel, like beach towel. Or
No,
some shit
fuck
like that
no, man. You
damn.
can't have nothing, man. Like, nothing like that. And the food was the fucking worst. Like, I understand, like, a lot of those places work on like a tight budget and stuff like that, but, like, it was like worse. I think it was like prison fucking food, man. Like, and, like, it sounds shallow and stuff like that, but dude, like I saw, when I first went in there, I was like, how's the food gonna be? Now I thought it wasn't gonna be too great, but like, I saw the guy. The bread was a brand called Keith. I remember that shit. But I saw a guy bite it, and, like, when you see somebody bite it, like they're biting a fucking big strip of beef jerky.
That's bad for bread.
Yeah, and then I saw the eggs, and I told that guy, I was like, man, I wouldn't eat those eggs because I can recognize a powdered egg,
Right.
right? And I'm like, dude, don't eat that shit, man. And
You don't eat that powdered shit.
yeah, and he ate it and fucked his stomach up.
Oh
So that guy
God.
was just like the whole time, he was like, man, I should have listened to you. I should have listened to you. But dude, like the time, man, it's just like time fucking ticks so slow. You in
Oh,
there,
I bet.
like, dude, like you have no sense of like really time
Yeah,
until
because
like
I mean, you don't really have your phone or anything.
have a
and-
watch.
Yeah, don't have a watch.
You could have like a like a traditional watch. You can have a smart watch, you know. But I don't own a like traditional watch.
Yeah.
But I mean, all you do is just fucking count the time, you know.
Right.
And then like you want to try to sleep, and it's just, you know, I just really want to talk. I was waiting to talk, and just to figure shit out, just
Yeah.
to, you know.
But it's like you and I text. I mean, shit. Since we would go a couple of days, but I mean, since for about a year and a half now, we've been texting every day. And like, once you went in there, and you weren't in there that long, but time dragged by because I was like, damn, I haven't heard from John in like this long. It felt like you were in there for 2 weeks when you weren't.
Right. Well, and like I was willing, you know, like when I first went in there, so I signed myself in.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So you could sign yourself out whenever, yeah.
Well, you gotta tell them that you're signing stuff out, and then once you tell them, it's 72 hours.
Huh.
So, and they can get you out before that,
Yeah.
but usually like, and the only way you'll get kept in there before that time limit like is up is if like your doctor's like no,
Yeah.
or like the court is like no. If you were brought there, which a lot of the people are,
Or, yeah.
you're not getting out until the doctor says
Well,
you get
it's
out.
like my ex I was telling you about, she was brought, if it's the same place in Youngsville, I'm thinking, yeah, she was brought there, and she stayed in there for about 2 weeks, and I went and visit her every once in a while, and she was making progress in there. She was not enjoying it, but she did make some good
Yeah,
progress.
there is the plants and the. I mean, dude, like there's just one girl, man, the one that screamed the first night, dude. Like they couldn't control that one patient pretty much when I was there, and that like was really setting me off. Like they were just like. It was ruining therapy. Like, you know, like you'd be in a break talking about like serious shit. Like somebody, like this dude, man, like fucking came in there and bro, like he came in scrubs, man. Like he was, if you came in scrubs, like you're fucking OD'd or something like that, you know. And like this is serious shit. Like he came in there, man. Like I'm laughing because like this is how my brain worked when I was talking to this guy. But he's like, good looking dude, man. Like fucking like athletic and stuff like that, you know, blonde hair, short hair dude, like. He was just like, yeah, man. He's like, I can't stop doing meth, you know? And, like, he was, like, in a toxic relationship, like, a fucking toxic relationship. And the dude said, like, and, like, bro, it fucking hit me, man. Because, like, I can imagine where he was. But, like, he had a fucking really good job, 6 figures.
Damn.
And, like, he started messing with somebody that he worked with who also had a good job and still has a good job. But they were doing meth and fucking. And he said, like, meth and fucking is, like, the most amazing fucking experience. Like he's just like he was talking about it, and like I'm sitting there like I want to try this. Like he was describing it, like he's like,
no, and I've heard that too.
Yeah.
But,
And he's just talking about it. And he's like, it's so good. And he's like, and then he's like, the second time I did it, he's like, I had a psychotic breakdown.
Oh.
And then he's like, freaked me out. And he's like, you know, but it didn't happen like right away. Right. And he's like, man, it's fucked up. And then like he's like, the next time I did it, he's like, instantly I had my psychotic breakdown, and he lost my job, I lost everything, and like he's like, it's all gone. And you know, he's like, and all I can think about right now is calling her so we can set something up when I get the fuck out of here. He's like, because I hadn't had enough. And I was like, dude, I fucking know. And I talked to him, you know, and I was like, man, and he asked me straight up, man, he's like, does the cravings ever go away? And I was like, it takes a fucking long time, man.
Yeah, it does. You got to stay away from it.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I was telling you, I mean, I don't know about the whole alcoholic thing. I drank a lot in my 20s, but I was able to see, like you said, I mean, I didn't have to ask help, and I'm not saying it's wrong to ask for help or anything like that, but for me, seeing friends getting killed drinking and driving, cousins,
it's hard for another man to admit that he's not strong enough to do something, man.
No, it is hard, especially with the way society's raised us.
Yeah. Oh fuck, it gets worse, you know.
Yeah. But like I said, it took all I have. I mean, whenever I turned 30, I was about to be a dad again, and I said, you know what? I went through my 20s without killing myself, killing somebody else, or getting a DUI. I'm done. Done drinking, done. I shouldn't have never been driving.
Right.
I mean, because there's times where I've gotten home and don't know how the hell I've gotten home.
Fuck, I know that story.
And I've, like, I drink at home now. If I drink, or if we go out, I let my wife drink, and I drink maybe one. I can control myself. I drink maybe one or two, and 3 hours later, 3 or 4 hours later, we're leaving the bar. I'm sober, and we're going home. I don't. I do my best not to. Like if I'm at home, I'll get drunk, but I don't let it. I don't overdo it. I mean, you saw for when Link's birthday party,
Right.
I barbecued for you, and I didn't offer you any because I didn't know about the whole problem, but I'd never seen you drink, so I was like, I'd never seen him drink, so I'm not gonna offer it. You never talked about drinking or anything, so that's why I never offered you
Right.
anything.
And yeah, and that's how it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, and that's, dude. There's fucking answer here, man.
Oh,
like
yeah.
so the outside was pretty crazy. Like it's a small little area, but you
Yeah.
don't really go too far. But they got like a fucking like 10-foot fence, and it's like double sided and like everything's stuff. But man, like that one girl, dude, she would always try to fucking get out. Like she would walk in and try to fucking every day, dude. And I'm sitting there looking at it from a perspective like, if I wanted to get out of here, I'd just climb on that AC and I'd just fucking go, you
Yeah.
know. And I could have got out. I mean, if I wanted to escape, I could have fucking escaped. I mean, it's not hard. Just the fence wasn't that high. You could get, if you really wanted to. I mean, those orderlies really don't give a fuck.
Go sign yourself out and be like, hey, just tell him I escaped.
Well, but I was like, but if I fucking escape, I mean, that's just my mind. I don't live
Yeah.
far from there. But if I escape, they know where I fucking live.
Yeah.
So
You
it's like-
escape now it's
Right, now I'm
you,
fucked.
yeah.
So yeah, then they had a TV room, like a little tiny TV room. Well, they had TVs in both rooms, but the fucking other TV was, and they're locked behind this fucking huge like wooden plexiglass thing, so people won't break them because they get mad and they fucking break shit, man, in there. Bro, like you can't have anything in there. Like the fucking pencils and shit are all broken, everything's broken,
Oh, wow.
You can't leave nothing around because like somebody might have a fucking shit fit and fucking rip it apart.
Damn.
So yeah, the TVs are behind this big wall. So they had the fucking one break room with the TV. And I go in there and they're watching fucking YouTube. Like watching some bullshit on YouTube. And I'm like, oh man, yo, like this is right when I got in, dude. Like right after I walked out the room, the dude had a seizure. I walked into that room. And they're watching TV in there. And I'm like, oh man, y'all got Voodoo on there? It was a Roku. And they're like, yeah. Dude, I logged into my Voodoo. And I was like, yeah, here you go. And like one of the guys was like, is that the new Top Gun? Is that the new Top Gun? Oh my God, is that the new Top Gun? I was like, yeah. He's like, fuck, I want to see that so bad. I'm like, have at it, man. And he's like, oh my God. Oh. Dude, so they started watching it. I sat down and started watching it with him. Started buffering.
Oh, fuck.
And then like, it starts playing, starts buffering. And it's like, do you want to switch to a lower, So they switched
Like
to
the
standard.
SD,
Yeah. And they're still watching. It's kind of going, it's buffering. Bro, I just got up and I went, dude, how long is Top Gun?
I haven't watched the new one, but I heard it's about 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Bro, it took them about 5.
Oh, damn.
They watched it. I'd go in there and they're just fucking waiting. Dude, I felt bad, man.
At least they were waiting and not,
Yeah.
like, breaking shit. Top Gun of all
Because, like, there was the guy, Kyle, in there. He's a young kid, man. Like, he got, like, so he said I could tell his story. I could say anything about it. Like, he wants to hear this, stuff like that. And, like, we were kind of a voice of sanity for each other.
Right.
Because when I tell you why he was in there, you understand that he was not meant to be there.
Right.
He was drinking and smoking, hanging out with his brother. And they got in a fight. And his brother fucking pulled a shotgun on him and put a shotgun in his face. So he snatched the shotgun and he beat the shit out of him with the shotgun.
Well,
And the grandparents called the cops. And when the cops came,
so the brother got all scot-free even though he pulled the shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they took him. They said
Some
you can
bullshit,
go to
okay.
jail or you can go to the fucking hospital.
Oh, I would have been like, I'll go to the hospital.
So he went to the hospital, and like he was a normal, he's a normal, like I think he was 21 years old,
Yeah.
and he was like, I have a fucking job interview tomorrow,
Yeah.
like fuck. I didn't, like I felt for the kid, man. And then like he came in there, he didn't come in scrubs, but like he or maybe he did, but like he was a smoker. He had no cigarettes, and nobody was bringing him cigarettes because like his fucking he's trying to get. So like that, I gotta tell you about that girl, man, the one that fucked everything up, man. The most crazy person I ever met in my life. She kept thinking that I was her dead husband.
Oh, shit.
Whoa, no, Yeah, I was her dead husband, and she would be like, "I'm so sorry," and then she's like, "You're an asshole," but she would offer me cigarettes, and I'd be, "I don't smoke. I don't smoke. No, thank you. I don't smoke. I don't, bitch. I don't smoke. Fuck you. I don't smoke." And then like, I was like, man, he had borrowed a cigarette from her, and then like when she would ask me, I would just take it. So like, I always had like about 2 cigarettes in my fucking pocket. So I'd see him and I'd give him like 2 cigarettes or whatever. He's like, "Dude, fuck you, my hero," you know. And I was like, because dude, she just kept giving them to me, man. I was like, all right, whatever, fuck it. You're an idiot.
Here you go, dead husband. Here you go.
Yeah, dude, seriously. But she thought I was her dead husband. She thought he was her son. Like, and like she fucking not. It's funny, but dude, 100% real.
Like she was that lost.
Yeah. And like she was the person who needed like to be like in an intensive care ward and stuff like that, because
not running around like
right. Yeah, and like it was really bad, man. Like it, it's scary. But like she walked into the room. We were playing a game, and she walked into a room, and like she was seeing her son, and she was scolding him. She caught him on something, and like she had her hand on her hip, and like she was.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have told her any different.
What it sounds like you said, the orderlies didn't give a fuck. It sounds like they were like, "Oh, we're just here to babysit." Fucking.
Some of them, yeah. I mean, you could tell some of them,
Yeah, some of them.
Some
like,
on their fucking phones, man.
Yeah.
Some bullshitting like behind the counter and stuff like that. Not really giving a shit. And there was the first night. So I went through I had a bag. I went to my room like after I found my real room. When I went there was 2 paper bags, and it was some clothes brought from home.
Oh, nice.
And like, which was fucking. I was like, oh great, I can change. And but there was I didn't see it till like 3 a.m. But there's a picture of my kids in there.
Right.
And dude, I fucking saw that shit and I fucking broke, bro. And I was walking down the hall just looking at it, and they had a nurse. I can't remember her name. I think it was Kathy. But she was like, "What's wrong?" I was talking to her, and I can't sleep, and I'm pacing, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to pace because they're watching you at the same time. But I showed her, and she's like, "Oh, you got something to fight for, you got something to, you'll be all right, look at the family and shit like that." And it was so needed and sweet, and she gave me a big fucking hug, man.
Oh, yeah.
And
like I said, I mean, there's some people that are there that know that they're there to help, and there's some people that just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've done that on the boat. I look at pictures of Link and Emily, and I break down. It sucks being away from your kids, whether it's work or something like that, trying to get help.
Yeah. So, and yeah, that was the hardest thing. I didn't want to talk to him. I mean, like, man, my daughter thought I was on a trip,
Shit.
and so she was like, because I missed fucking Thanksgiving. I spent Thanksgiving in the hospital, and like it was the first time.
The day after, right?
Yeah. So the end of the second day, you kind of stop about 4:00, kind of work time. They kind of stop doing most of the shit, and then you just like do really nothing for fucking till like 9:00. You're waiting for your sleep meds so you can go to sleep, and then my sleep meds were wrong. The sleep meds they were giving me, I was supposed to be taking like 4 or 5 hours before it was time for me to go to sleep. So they wouldn't kick until like 3 in the fucking morning.
Oh,
so it was fucked up. So they were wrong. The sleep meds that was fucked up. That was a fuck up. That was the first fuck up for the medicine, of many. But yeah. So I spent Thanksgiving in there, man, and that was fucking hard, bro. Like like missing that, man. Like my father-in-law. I call him my father-in-law. I'm not married, but my father-in-law. I mean, that dude has been a fucking father-in-law to me. Every Christmas, Thanksgiving, that's the only time he drinks. He drinks like a glass of wine, and he always comes up to me, "I love you, man." And then he goes fucking take a nap. But man, anyway, yeah, I was gonna miss that shit, dude. That shit was hard, and the fucking, and then like of course, so that's gonna be the next. I'm one day ahead. So then Wednesday evening, like they're like, "You need to talk to you. Come in the office, we'll talk to you." And I'm like, great, here we go. This is my time to talk to the counselor, talk to the doctor and stuff like that. And the guy starts talking to me, and he was nice, but he straight up told me I'm not a psychologist. He's like, nobody else is coming in. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow, so nobody else is going to come in right now, but we need to get this paperwork done and stuff like that. And like, and I'm like, so if you wouldn't have come, like they wouldn't have called you, nobody would have talked to me till fucking Friday,
Right.
And like I came in on a Tuesday. And I'm like, it's like nobody would. He's probably not. Like that's fucked up, know. And like I'm already upset about the room shit that happened.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, that really fucking. It just took, like I was like, man, this is not what I fucking want,
Yeah, like that upsets me for you. I mean, you went in there for help, and if he wouldn't have came, I mean, you wouldn't have. Yeah.
And I was like, wow, and then like, so like he took me. We went through this fucking eval, man, and like they tell you like like you know what time it is, you know where you are, you know what country and your city and what's your name, like all these things and like that. What is a cat like? And then like you look at the fucking it's all this mind things like that. You have to draw squares and draw different shapes and stuff like that. Fold the paper in half. Perception stuff like that. But he was asking questions, and we're talking about he was kind of getting into like my past a little bit, asking a couple questions. But he asked me why I drank and relapsed and stuff like that, and I had said because of the place I was at, the environment and stuff like that, and the thing I was in, and he wrote down like peer pressure or something like that. He wrote down peer pressure, and like I was like, dude, that's not what I fucking said. I was like, don't not write. That's like my fucking medical log, Yeah. I was like, don't write peer pressure. It wasn't a person.
Like, no one's telling me to like trying to give me.
I was like, I told you what kind of, and I don't know. That kind of threw me off a little bit because it's like, if you're not watching, they're gonna say they're gonna write whatever,
Yeah.
And I mean that's
a shitty thing.
Yeah. So yeah, the Thanksgiving, man, like. So Thanksgiving was a wasted fucking day.
Yeah.
Like, none of the doctors came in. Like, it was just all like the bullshit. So, they had one game. We played like fucking bingo, and and then that was really it for fucking for Thanksgiving. And then like we had our Thanksgiving lunch, which we got a pork chop. Fucking
couldn't even get you a turkey. Huh?
No, man. And they were like fucking straight. It was a straight Stouffer's. I saw the box.
Oh, God.
It was a fucking pork chop. Some shitty bread pudding, and like the food was just worse, man. Like
that's
the
bad
salad,
when the bread pudding shitty.
dude. The salad looked like it had fucking cum on it, bro.
Oh, God.
like they had like some fucking. It was like everything was just so bland or so bad. They had Tony's, which saved a couple things. I was able to eat grits and shit like that and stuff like that. But I was like, man, like I started working out and like exercising in there, and like I was like, I'm not gonna eat anything. I was like, it's like I'm just drinking.
Might as well lose some weight.
Yeah, seriously, like, and it makes time go by. Yeah. Like I was just like.
But I don't know why they work out in prison.
Exactly, but I was like, there was a girl that was in there. She came in there. She had overdosed on heroin and shit like that. Like she was like flipping out. I was walking down the hall and like all the doors are open. You try not to look, but you fucking look. Everybody says you don't. You look at a room, you can't like. But she was flailing on the bed like she was having a fucking breakdown and shit. I was like, holy fuck, It was the first like time I saw her, and then like the next day, next day she was pretty cool. We wound up talking about movies and bullshit. She was cool as hell. But like we had like a plate of food, a big plate of nasty food, but they had like a cup of fruit cocktail, and like I see her and she's like slurping, like fucking just eating the fuck out of that fruit cocktail, but that's all she has. And like I just like grabbed mine and just gave her the other one, and she's like but so one of the things that there, and like there's shit that was interesting in there, like from a perspective and stuff like that, like when they're kind of voluntary, right. I kind of try to figure out why everybody was in there, like there's like maybe 12 people, and like why is this person, and so just to kind of show you, there was like this lady, she was like real skinny, like fucking scarecrow. And like, dude, she must have wore like 4 or 5 shirts. She had like she was just covered in clothes. Like her feet were wrapped in like 5, 6 pairs of shirts. And she would just like fucking stand in like crazy positions in the fucking hallway and shit. And bro, like she smelled so fucking bad, dude. Like her room, like I would gag if I fucking passed it. Like I would just like breathe out of my mouth real quick and just pass in front of that room, dude. Because it's like, the fucking, oh, dude. There was another girl, real pretty, man. Like, dude. I don't know if it was like it was like a weird, creepy, like where somebody, like I've seen it like in fucking stories and shit, like where like somebody has a dead twin, right? And they fucking like, dude, that's what she was doing. She was having a complete conversation with another person, like going back and forth between the voices and stuff like that. And like, dude, like I was mentally, I was like, was she bored? Because if I'm fucking bored, like was she bored? Because she seemed like she was always like engaged in the conversation and shit like that. Like we were watching fucking Dragon Ball Z on YouTube, and like she was like doing the fighting motions with her fucking friend, man. Like it was the fucking craziest thing.
I mean, it's nothing to laugh at, but
no, it's just it's. I mean, you're in a mental hospital,
right?
You know where you are when that shit happens, so the bigger guy, I'm not gonna say his name, but his deal was that he was a 35-year-old man
Right.
with the mind of like an 8-year-old boy.
Is that the one that was tracing?
Tracing and stuff like that. And then that came into play because he was very childish.
Right.
And you know, you could tell like he was just like he had been given his way too much, and now he was hard to handle when you told him no. And that's kind of what scares me with my son, because my son's already big, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not gonna let him get to that point, you know.
Yeah, he's an 8-year-old and 35-year-old body.
Yeah, I mean this guy was just like, man, you tell this dude no, and like he can break you in half, man. Like he's strong, dude. He's a big dude. So on the Thanksgiving, he starts talking about Beyblades and stuff like that, and he wants his Beyblades.
Oh.
Okay. And we're like, what is that Beyblade? So it's like, if you don't know what it is, because I really wasn't too sure, it's like the spinner tops.
Yeah.
And it's like a long pull thing you can pull out. Well, they took him away from him because the long pull things, obviously. So he goes up to the nurse's station. There's 2 male nurses and 2 female nurses. Now, me and Yukai are so this is like a before. I had asked for some books from home.
Right.
So they brought me some Game Informers and stuff like that. But I had checked out some books from the library, a Zelda book and stuff for my daughter, and a Roblox book that was like a Where's Waldo. It was Where's the Noob, but it was Roblox. And so when they grabbed the books for me, they grabbed everything and they brought the Roblox book. So when I was walking with my stuff down the hall, Yukai was like, "Nice Roblox, bitch," you know. I was like, "It's not even mine. It's for my daughter. It's for the library." And I was like, "It's Where's Waldo." Dude, I kid you not. About 3 hours later, dude, me and another dude, Yukai and another guy were like fucking skimming that shit, dude, to find the noobs. Bruh, like we went through every page, and some of them like, dude, but it was making time go by.
Right.
And like, dude, like it got to like closer to the end, and like some of the pages were easy. Like I turned the page and I instantly saw them, and I was like, "Fuck! God damn it!" It's like that was
wanted it to be longer.
That was 20 minutes right there, you know? Like, oh yeah, like, but yeah, we found every one of those motherfuckers, man. And then like they have the bonus shit in the end. Started looking for that shit, but
find this guy. Find this.
So
guy.
yeah, me and Yukai, I taught him how to play. We played blackjack.
Right.
We had to kind of remember how to play blackjack. I think we're playing for the most part right. But I taught him how to play poker. Taught him how to play dominoes. I had to relearn how to play dominoes. But then I taught him how to play dominoes. But I had asked for some more games. I had a shitload of games. I have so many board games at home. And I asked for some to come. Well, me and Yukai spent a lot of time playing cards. So between things. And that's what we do, just bullshit, play cards. And we were in the break from playing cards. And back to Chris. Oh, I said his name. I said I wouldn't. Oh well, fuck it. He's asking for his Beyblades. He wants his Beyblades. He's at the nurse's station, the glass section, and they're like, "No, you can't have them." He's like, "Let me show you they're not dangerous. Let me come in there and I'll show you." And they're like, "No, you can't have them. You know you can't have them." He's like, "I'm gonna come in there. I want to show you." And he's like, "They're not dangerous." And he's getting like really agitated.
And he's getting dangerous.
He's getting agitated. So we're playing cards, and you hear, "I want my Beyblades," and then the boom, and like Kyle jumps up and he goes, "Holy shit!" He just kicked the door. Like he kicked that big metal door, and you hear, "I'm strong."
Oh shit.
Bruh, he fucking kicks it again. Boom! It breaks. He's in the nurse's station, dude. He has one of those male nurses like cornered, and he is fucking shitting his pants.
Oh, I'd be shitting
Dude,
my pants too.
Kyle jumps up, bro. He fucking runs down the hall, and he's like at the little holes, screaming like this dude's name, like, "No, don't," because he's like, "I'm gonna," like, he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna," like, it's fucked up, man. Yeah. And then like I'm like, "Oh fuck," and I run down the hall, and we're both at these little windows, dude, like calling this dude's name, like, "Dude, come look at this Roblox book, man. Come on, man. Don't do this shit. Don't do this shit." And they're calling the police. They're like, "Oh man, fuck." And then like eventually like the cops came, man. Fucking 4 cops came, and Russo cops got some badass guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they came in there, man, and they had him in the chair, and I was like, "Man, he's going to jail, dude. Like that's fucked," you know, because like. They have a big sign on the wall, "Stop." You know, if you fucking break anything, hit anyone and stuff like that, you know, it's assault, and you will go to fucking jail. You know, charge you and stuff like that.
And he had that nurse shitting in the.
Well, he fucking broke the door down.
Yeah,
he kicked the fucking door in. So that's
damn.
And so man, they were talking to him, and then like at one point I heard him crying and wailing and shit like that, and I was like, "Yeah, he's going to jail," and stuff like that. But they we were like, you know, just like fuck, you know, we went back to playing cards and stuff like that, and just like kind of kept waiting to see what, you know, and he was like. It was fucked up because Yukai was like, that was his roommate. And he's kind of like, well, that's kind of cool because he snores really loud. And he's like, I'll have a room to myself, you know. And I got a room to myself like the next morning.
Right.
Yeah, so that was cool. Better. I was fucking, dude, I dropped that temperature down to fucking 60.
Oh, damn.
And, oh, yeah, man.
I will freeze my ass out.
Oh, dude, then I got it, man, to sleep. But the blanket was sucked. So, yeah, we're like kind of waiting to see what the fuck's going to happen to this guy. And like, dude, this fucking, like, he comes back in there with his drawings. He's like kind of drooling a little bit. And he's like, I'm sorry I got mad. And like, he's like, I'm really sorry. I just wanted my Beyblades. And like, sometimes I get really angry. And I lost control.
Remind me not to piss you off. No.
Yeah, he's just like, you know, I'm really sorry. I scared him. He's like, but that police officer, he said he's going to bring me some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because he had a big stack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He was obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh. And he was like, the cop said he's going to bring me some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I was like, oh, awesome, you know, because they talked to him for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, dude. Like, dude, I know those cops didn't want to start. Because, like, dude, he's a big dude, man. It would have been rough. Because he said, don't put hands on me, don't touch me, you know. But I found out something called booty juice.
Booty juice?
Booty juice, because they come in, they hit you with the booty juice, and you drop to your booty.
Oh,
yeah, the fucking shot. Well, they gave him, like, more than one booty juice.
Oh, damn.
And he's a big boy, you know. So,
you mentioned booty juice. I just think of booty sweat.
No. So,
pop an ass.
Yeah, man. But like, dude, he got up like a little bit later and got up and started walking around, and they were like, he shouldn't be. There's no way. Like they were like,
with how much we gave him, he should not be.
Yeah. So that was him. That's why he was there.
Damn.
Okay. There was this one guy though, man. It's like a shoulder strap guy. He was really cool, man. He was wearing an ACDC shirt, man. Wearing bullshit and stuff like that. I was like, I couldn't figure out like he even like went off on that chick, man, about being obnoxious and stuff like that. Like, girl, you're crazy. Shut the fuck up. You know, like, you're ruining shit for me. You know, and but he was like, I couldn't figure it out, man. And then like Thanksgiving night, dude, I found it out. I went in the fucking break room, like the little thing to get food. And you've seen Joker, we saw it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that disease or whatever he has in that, he had
laughter.
He had that.
Oh damn.
And he was doing it, and there was nobody in there. He was eating fucking Cheerios by himself. And I was like, holy fuck. Like, you know, like it was kind of scary, man. Like it was maniac, like I can't even say the word right. Like maniac laughing, you know? And like it was just coming out.
Maniacal.
You know? Yeah, maniacal.
I had
there
to think of it.
There we go, that word. So yeah, that was his. They had this other guy that came in. He played cards with us, stuff like that. He was a really nice guy. He said he's kind of talking about his job. He had but he came in scrubs, so he came in for drugs. Yeah. But I didn't find out exactly why he was in there. But it seemed like he had a bad run. But like his fucking right hand, his knuckles were fucked. Like so, like probably hit some fucking wall, whatever.
Yeah.
But and then there was the chick, that crazy one. But I found this out on the third day. Like she was an alcoholic. She was an AA. So she had an AA book, and she kept saying she wanted to pray. My mom's always been, religious. I grew up Catholic and stuff like that. So my mom brought me some like novellas and some prayer books and stuff like that. Like 3 prayer books and like 3 crossword puzzle books. And I hate fucking crosswords.
Your mom and my mom would get along pretty great.
Like I can't stand crossword puzzles, man. I'd rather like do a maze trace or something like that, But I was gonna try them, but my mom brought me like 4 big crossword puzzle books. So first thing I did is I went and gave them some. I gave some of the stuff away. Yeah. Like one of the nice ladies, like she was really sweet. She was just bad. She had a bad drug thing, and she was just trying to get right and stuff like that. But like she had a hard life. You could tell, she'd been through the ringer and shit. But I mean, she was really sweet, and she was pretty funny. But I gave her a crossword. But she's like, "Oh, thank you so much." She was like excited, And it's like, when I left, man, I gave like that guy with the knuckles, man. I gave him my Game Informers. I ripped off my address and shit, and I gave him some Game Informers. I gave him crosswords and stuff like that. But like, man, like, I want to like bring an extra pair of sandals and give it to that fucking dude, the one that with the meth, man, because he didn't have no fucking shoes.
Damn.
Like, it's like fucking horrible, man. Dude, like in the scrubs, they're not like fucking scrubs like I wore when I went to massage therapy. These are like fucking like
paper thin.
Paper, yeah, man. You just like make noise when you walk and shit. So on the third day, this guy came. He was like kind of a bigger, heavy-set guy. They put him in my room, and I was kind of like, oh shit, what the hell's going on? But he wanted to be a nice guy. We talked a bit. He was a trucker, uh, and man, he just loved driving up north in the snow. Man, he was telling me all these beautiful stories about kind of shit like that, and we're talking about all the different places up north that we kind of both been. And yeah, he was driving back one day and coming up Houston over overpass, and he fell asleep, and he went off, man. He fucking hit this fucking metal beam. It cut through his truck, man. It, like fucking cut into his leg and fucking stopped from decapitating him and stuff.
Damn.
But crushed his leg and shit like that, and then like he got addicted to fucking pain pills and then alcoholic and shit like that. Ruined his fucking life, and he was in there to try to,
trying to get off of it.
get it off. Um, so yeah, I mean that was for the most part. There was another guy in there with the same name as me. He was on addicted to pills and shit like that, and just crazy. Like he had crazy like work injury and stuff like that. It happened to him and stuff like that. And I mean, you have a lot of people like that, But this guy, one guy came in, and I definitely won't say his name. I recognized him at first, and I recognized him from my job in security and stuff like that, as a very aggressive homosexual man. And he came on Thanksgiving night, and like he basically walked in there, went into the break room, and they were watching like anime or something like that. The bigger guy, like he liked to watch anime.
Yeah.
He was watching some anime, and the guy was like, "Put the football game on." He's like, "No, I don't want to put the football game on." And he fucking grabbed the remote and slammed it against the wall, and like started screaming at the top of his lungs, and like dude like went flip out, like, and like I knew who he was. I was like, "Fuck," like that dude is like violent.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow. And you can use the phone in there. You can call out. I would have called you, man, but I only had 2 numbers.
Yeah.
And like I only memorized I think I only know 4 numbers. Like you just don't remember numbers.
Nowadays you don't have to.
But we you call out and like I talk to my mom and talk to my family and stuff like that. I tried calling one of my other friends and stuff like that, but that was it. But I'm trying to think where I was going with that. So after once that violent guy got there, because when I called out, I talked to my mom, and my mom works in nursing homes and stuff like that. That's what she's been doing for a while. She's like a director and stuff like that. But they send some of their patients to where I was. So she was like, I told her on Thanksgiving night when I talked to her, I was like, I'm kind of thinking about signing out, and I'm going to sign out, like basically, She's like, I don't want you to stay. I want to make sure everything's right. And I was like, well, I don't think it's going to get better. I was like, I'm kind of worried about someone that's here now, kind of, and just I told her about some of the other stuff that was going on. And she was like, well, I didn't want to tell you this. She's like, but we sending 2 more violent people there tomorrow. Oh, shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I definitely want to stay,
Yeah.
So I went and I told him, I was like, signing my shit out, And the guy, Kyle, was like, I'm doing the same. I'm going to try to do the same. But he came in. He was brought in.
He was forced to stay. Yeah.
So they were telling him like maybe like Monday or Tuesday. So he was shitting, man. I was feeling so bad for this dude because this dude like he was gonna get out, and he was just like nothing was gonna change. Like he wasn't gonna stop. Like this dude is young. He was still drinking. He's still smoking weed and stuff like that. And like he fucking was craving fucking weed in there and stuff like that. And like he got fucking fucked and put in there. And like so I felt bad, man. I was like tempted like. Could I bring this dude some? Like how could I was literally thinking like, how could I get this man some weed? But luckily, man, like, I guess with those violent patients coming and stuff like that, they pushed me and him out at the same time almost.
Oh, so, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and recently, he added me as a Facebook friend. Well, I added him as a Facebook friend and stuff like that. I told him I was doing this. I asked him if it was, and he's like, man, use my name if you want. So, but yeah. But that dude, man, like a big thanks for you, man. Like you really like the only fucking person I could talk to when I was in there, pretty much. And like I know you used me for that too, and that's cool, man. Like, and I'm glad I was able to do that for you, and I really thank you for being able to do that for me, man. Because, oh man, dude, like every minute in there fucking feels like hours, sometimes.
Oh, I bet.
So I had a table meeting with the doctor, like a bunch of doctors. And that's where he kind of ask you everything, kind of feel you out. And it was the female doctor. She was taking a lot of notes and stuff like that. The main psychologist doctor that was in the group, he was just kind of like getting the basics of me and stuff like that. this is at the point where I was already like, I want to get out, you know.
Right.
And I kind of told him that. I was like, look, I was first room night, look at my stuff, you know, about the assault. I was put into a room like that. It was fucking crazy, you know, like all this shit happened. Like, all this is going on in the groups. Like, I haven't talked to like the first night, you know. I told him everything, and I was like, I'm just frustrated with it. And I was like, I'd rather go get outside counseling by myself, get family counseling, whatever I have to fucking do. I was like, but I know, like, I know this isn't the right way for me. I was like,
Staying
it's just
in here
yeah.
won't help. Yeah.
So the doctor was like, well, I don't agree. You know, the man, the doctor was like, I'll keep you in here for a couple more days, but why not be in the case? So on the last day, the female doctor talked to me, and we're kind of going through everything and stuff like that. She was like, you have a history of alcoholism, right? And I was like, yes, I do. She's like, why are you taking Xanax? Why would your doctor give you Xanax? And I was like, it was because it takes a while for Zoloft to kick in. It takes like, you know, it could take 2 months. It could take forever. You know, it takes a while. She's like, but you were an alcoholic. And I was like, yeah, so. She's like, the receptors in your brain that realize that when you take Xanax, it's the exact same spot that you take alcohol. So as soon as you started taking Xanax, your brain thought you were drinking.
That's fucking why.
That's why I started drinking.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. So trying to get help, man, I fucked my life, man. Like, fucked myself. Almost killed myself, dude.
Right. Because of fucking Xanax, yeah.
Yeah. She was like, when she told me that, dude, it was like there was a fucking picture puzzle that I've been staring at, and the last piece dropped in, man.
Like you couldn't figure it out until she
I was fucking smiling, dude. I was so happy when she told me that shit. Like, it opened my eye. It made so much fucking sense, man. Like, and I was like, man, I have to get out now, you know?
Yeah.
But like, and I don't blame my doctor. I don't, because like, that's why I told you straight up from the beginning. I never told him I was an alcoholic.
Right.
Because I hadn't drank in 8 years. You know, it wasn't, you know? And, man, like, I got out, and, like, I saw him again, you know, and, like, he gets everything from the hospital, you know? And, like, of course, man, you can't say that you've had recent thoughts and get out of a place like that. There's no way. As soon as you say that, you're trapped in there for so many days, you know?
Yeah, but for like a week or
I told him that I hadn't had much, you know, to get out. You say what you need to say to get out of it sometimes like that. And I did. I honestly fucking told him, like, shit to get out, you know? And not as much as I told him. Right. And he called me out on it, man, when I went to see him. He's like, I don't even know if I should still see you. He's like, because you go over there, you tell them that you don't want to kill yourself and you haven't really thought about killing yourself. You told me about the generator. You told me about hanging it, you know? He's like, so are you lying to them or are you lying to me? I was like, Doc, and I told him everything that happened, you know? Right. Told him about the fucking room. Told him all shit like that, and like, you know, he was like, oh damn, you know, fuck. And then I told him about the Xanax. He's like, fuck, you know, and he's like, it's not my, you know, and he kind of got defensive about it. I'm like, dude, I'm not saying it's your fault, 100%, you know. It's just
it's not even your fault either. Like you said, you hadn't had a drink in like 8 years, so you don't consider yourself drinking like you don't consider yourself like drinking and stuff like that. You haven't had a drink in like 8 years, so I mean, I wouldn't consider myself like alcoholic or anything. I mean, you hadn't touched it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I can see like why they would want to know. I mean, like you said, I mean, and he's probably been blamed before with something like that, so that's probably why he got a little defensive. I mean, like you said, you don't blame him. I mean,
yeah, I'm still seeing him. I'm still going to see him. I mean, now, you know, as it being out, you know, now I am, you know, it is out of his expertise or specialty, you know, so yeah, I am seeing outside counselor and stuff like that, but I do know what caused it, but the fucking problem is it happened. So now, like, dude, like, I'm 9 days sober now, you know, and hopefully stay sober, but it's hard, man. I had to detox again and all that bullshit and stuff like that, man, and like the craving is fucking there, dude. It's fucking hard, bro. It's like pass it. I can get alcohol so fast, and you know, just I can hide it so easily.
Here,
yeah, you know, it's a fucked up thing, man. Oh yeah, and then one thing I want to say about in there, they had brought me some games, so I was brought Cards Against Humanity and Joking Hazard,
right.
Like the two games that don't belong not even in the fucking parking lot of a mental hospital.
Right.
And like, dude, like some of the shit that we were coming up with in there, man. But that was the thing, dude. Like me, Yukai, and I think it was Mike. That was the guy with the knuckles. But like we were fucking playing Cards Against Humanity, like and like joking hazard, bro. And like some of the fucking shit, like we were laugh so fucking hard, dude. Like people were coming in there to see what the fuck was going on, like and like
Like, why are they going crazy?
yeah, like they're going fucking nuts. It was just a good moment, man. It was a real good moment, dude. And like we all like it was like a fucking a hearty laugh, man.
Well, I'm glad you were able to at least have that in there. I mean, you weren't by yourself. You weren't.
Yeah, and those guys, yeah. Well, and another time that guy, he wanted to sing. Chris, the big guy, he wanted to sing. He had kind of a high pitched voice. See, he wanted to sing in sync. So he puts it on YouTube and he sings in sync at the top of his fucking lungs, man.
What song?
Oh God, I don't even know them, man. And like, dude, like I was just like, this. I know I'm in a mental hospital. Like, there's no like waking up. Like, where am I? Like, I'm in a fucking mental hospital. Like, there's like, this big white man singing in sync on the TV that's fucking locked behind a fucking wall.
What's that old movie with Michael Keaton's name? The Dream Team, whatever.
Oh man, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing that and then on Thanksgiving night, like I started hearing this like it was like dude, you hear that shit coming down. I was like, what the fuck? And bro, it just like it was him. Like he was like he said he was having a seizure, like and he was making that noise. But that's like, dude, imagine being like this dude, you Kyle, like this. You're sleeping and then you wake that shit up. Like you wake up with that shit right next to you, like screaming like that. Like they put him in, like they let him go into the rubber room that has a nice bed and stuff. That dude had the best night's sleep of his life. But like, bro, like that's what, like that went on for hours, man.
Was he like powering up as a Super Saiyan? That's what it
He was said, dude. That's what it sounded like. Oh, dude, it was fucking haunting almost though. But I walked into the break room, the big break room with the L couches and shit like that, and I sit like fucking like right in the corner. And Yukal, he always had this poker chip he was flipping around. It was kind of like his little moment. I don't know. But I sit down and he's like, hey, look up. And I look up on the ceiling. The ceilings are pretty tall. And there's a dick. So I drew a dick. And it said, like, fuck. Fuck me or something. Like, it was drawn in crayon and stuff like that. So I'm like, haha. I kind of laugh at it, chuckle at it, whatever. It's kind of silly because...
Makes me wonder how they get it.
We figured it out because like you could stand on the thing. Because I asked that question too. I was like, how the fuck would you even get up there? Because it seemed pretty tall, but you could stretch and do it. It wasn't too bad. But that's why the dick. That's why the dick wasn't perfect. Like the little pew pews coming out of it were kind of like. But so I'm like, haha, and kind of like, and he's like, so you Kyle's like walking around this room. This is like a big rectangle. There's a table in the middle. He's walking around like flipping his poker chip and stuff, and I'm like, and he goes, there's more dicks. I'm like, what?
Oh, there was more.
Yeah. It's like, there's another one over there. And I'm like, they're like a water paper towel thing, and there's another dick. So I'm like, how many fucking dicks are there? He's like, I'm still looking.
So instead of where's Waldo or where's the noob, you were playing where's the dicks.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Before we left, we each get left one behind. We each left one behind.
That's funny.
Yeah. And anyway, like I said, yeah, I gave like pretty much, like I said, the stuff that I had when I was leaving, getting out of there. But man, the feeling like getting out of there it was just a place, man. Like I needed to go, and like man, like it saved me from killing myself, pretty much,
Well, yeah.
Like I was on a spiral, bro, and like like not knowing my triggers and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, and you figured out the main thing you were going to be in there for.
Well, the thing is, I still have my anxiety. I'm still fixing that, and like it's gotten better. It's gotten a lot better. It's just dealing with all the other shit, man, and like balancing it out, man. It's a hard struggle. So
no, I mean, like you said, 9 days sober. You know what was causing it now. I mean, so hopefully so far everything. I mean, and all you gotta do is call me.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe periodically we'll do something like this and talk about some serious subjects.
About it. Yeah, I mean, maybe next time I can talk about.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at today, man. Like I still haven't gone back to the job, you know, and like I don't know if I will, you know.
Right.
Um, but it's a struggle. It's a fucking struggle, man. Like financially and stuff like that. But like we kind of made things work. But man, fuck, it's something's gotta change soon. And
Well,
it's like,
yeah.
uh, um, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna get too much into that. But that's what happened to me. And that's why I mean, I had people freaking out looking for me, trying to find me, worried about me. And like I know I posted like when I get really drunk and when I get really fucking dark and like I feel there's way out. I either lash out at people or I'm just really dark, man. And like I posted like some dark bullshit on Facebook, like something
Mm.
like, you know, like we're flying around the fucking galaxy like a million miles an hour on a ride that we can't get off. No, we can get off whenever we want. Like killing ourselves, like something fucked up like that. And somebody messaged me like, "What the fuck?" You know, like a bunch of people. And then like I deleted my Facebook for a couple of days. Like, I mean, dude, like my mind was not fucking my
Oh
mind.
no, it wasn't. I mean, and like I said, I mean, this last time you had some people that messaging me
Yeah, right.
and stuff like that. I mean, we were worried. We definitely were worried, and I mean, I thank you for telling me this stuff now. I mean, I appreciate it that you trust me with this and that
No,
we're getting the story out. So,
yeah, I mean, like I said, 10 people might listen to this. Who knows?
uh,
You know, maybe my kids will hear it. I don't know.
yeah,
But
maybe
it's
we
just
can.
it's something. It defines me now, and
Yeah,
it's somebody might hear this and might fucking save them. I don't know, man.
yeah,
It might not. It might or you might just fucking bring in this. You know, something similar happened to you or something like that.
yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, even like with the Xanax thing, they
but
may be trying to figure out
it
why that.
it fucking made me
Yeah,
cry. Like I cried fucking hard, man, thinking about like I could have killed myself. You know, but like how
yeah,
many people have killed themselves? You know.
right,
Like, cause I was really thinking about it, man. Like seriously, like fucking, like I said, if I had a gun, I would have if I had an easy way,
right.
I would have taken it. But I didn't have an easy way. Fucking pussy, you know. Like
You're not
I
a
mean, I
pussy for
fucking
doing it. You're
yeah,
actually stronger than him.
right. Well, right, but I just don't want to hurt.
No, no,
um,
understand.
but like this swimming, like drowning or burning, like you know,
Oh
like
God,
yeah,
no, no.
can't pick one of those. You know, like which one would you rather, you know, like things. But anyway, but yeah, that might ring true with somebody and stuff like that. But or you might have some kind of service, but like it, there's help out there, you know, in different ways and stuff like that. And we'll have a lot of different like links to different help and stuff like that, like suicide awareness and stuff like that, Boys Town, other things I can think of. But man, always reach out, man. There's group support and stuff like that.
Definitely
You
reach
know,
out.
you know, sometimes it's hard, yeah, even when you have a support group and shit like that, to use that support group because you either feel like you burned too many bridges and stuff like that, and you know, sometimes it is too late with some people, but there's people that will always be there for you, you know.
Yeah, and you sometimes people feel like they're just being a burden. You never want to feel like you're being a burden. So you're never going to be a burden when it comes to that. I mean, if you're looking for help, people will help.
Yes. All right. So next time we'll be back with more with Clerks 3.
Yeah, Clerks 3.
Clerks 3, and yeah, talk about that movie and stuff. But I'm excited because I had not seen it, and definitely hope it lives up to the hype. So join us then.
All right, see y'all then.
Catch you later.